Welcome to Hate to Weight, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because we're all in this together.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, John.
It's been a week of weeks.
Has it? Okay. Let's get into it. Let's dive right in.
Well, first of all, last week every time I think that I overshare or say too much, or I'm like, these people are going to be like, ugh, enough with this guy.
Yes, I think the same thing. And I'm like, all I do is come on and complain. Yeah.
Right. I guess we both kind of like bore our souls last week.
Yeah.
You started. You got me doing it. And everybody seemed to, understand that, this is what we go through. And this is one of the reasons why we started this podcast.
Yeah. I appreciate one of the comments that Don put in the Facebook group. And he said, these episodes where you guys are vulnerable, that's where true growth really is. And I loved that. Growth has been my word for 2019. So every time I see grow or growth, I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. So
yeah, no, and absolutely. And and then there was another member who's new who came into the group. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Dave says, so weird to hear the theme music at 1x. I do that when I watch live shows. I'm like, wow, I can't imagine how fast our theme music is quickly if you get used to it, because I think it's pretty quick at 1x.
Oh, curious. Diana says, I've listened to the whole podcast in about 2 weeks. That's a lot of listening, right? I'm so inspired by all your hard work and dedication. And she hears about me talking about getting healthy in your 30s, and it truly hit home. She's finally started IF this week and hoping the new lifestyle sticks. So that kind of stuff means a lot to me that, when, someone comes in here and then they can, listen to us and our issues and know that, they're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I've learned, and this is episode 70, is that you're not always going to have good weeks. The best thing to do is try to get the bad, when I say bad times, or the times you're off plan or times you're struggling, is trying to get out of those struggles as quickly as possible, because we're all going to have them.
And also a big thing for me is to look at the habits that I've already implemented and keep doing them. And the more I keep doing them, the more they sort of cement themselves into my daily life. So with me doing yoga every day, and even it's 10 minutes. It's something I put on my to-do list. It just says yoga. Whether I stretch in my chair and touch my toes and maybe do 1 or 2 yoga poses, I've done yoga for the day. And just having those daily habits, that's the game changer for me.
Yes. And this week, I really have not had any problems with any of the binge eating. That has went away. Mm-hmm. Not going to lie. I've had some... The problem, so it's really weird because it's always like I'm always struggling, fighting something. So, and I think what happens is when I'm not struggling or fighting something, that's when the binge eating comes back. Because when I am struggling, I'm focused on that.
Yeah.
And the binge eating is, it's either put to the background or whatever. So this week I've been having some problems. Remember when I couldn't come down here because of my foot? I'm still having problems with my foot. It hasn't blown up, but, it just didn't look right and it was sore. So I call up where I go, the doctor where I go, it's the wound care place. And I said, hey, can I come in here? And they go, now, you know what? You should go to the emergency room. I was like,
oh.
Right. So this was yesterday. So I get ready. I go into the emergency room. So I'm sitting there and they come in and they're looking at everything. And the nice thing about that is we've eliminated a couple of things. First of all, I don't have like a staph infection, or I don't have a problem with my white cell count is, it's not up. So that's really, really good. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is they checked my blood sugar to see if I'm diabetic, and I'm not diabetic. Yeah. That's a great thing. So, that's 2 things that, that would make this worse. So, and I kept saying to them, it's sore, right? And it's right around where my shoe, the top part of my shoe would go around my foot. So basically what it's doing is it's rubbing there. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just making abrasion, but what I found out, and I didn't find this out till last night, what it did was it made a blister, and it was a deep blister. I didn't know that until the one on the back of my heel broke last night.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So now you know how it is when you have a blister, and it's right where the shoe is, like right where the thing. So I can't wear a shoe right now. But they didn't even realize it was a blister because of just the way it's swollen.
Yeah.
So then I come back out and get home and everything, and I have to go back on antibiotics again. So I went to get that taken care of, and so then last night I just said, man, the back of my heel just feels funny, and I looked and I could see where it had actually broke, and I could see it. So I said, oh, this is what it is. It's a blister. I said, I wonder if the other part's a blister. And when I felt it, I could feel that it, deep down, you could feel it. You could feel it moving around. So that's what I'm fighting right now because it hurts. You know how blisters hurt.
Yeah. And it's an annoying hurt that it's not like sort of a pain in the muscle where if you just don't move, you don't really have to think about it. This is more just like, it is still hurting. I'm not moving, but it's still hurting.
Yeah, it's hurting all the time. So I do, after we get done here, I do have to go to the pharmacy and I have to pick up my prescriptions and everything. The first thing that the emergency room says, okay, call the wound center and then get in there as soon as you can. So I called them and told them exactly what the emergency room said. You know what they told me? Wednesday
for a wound.
Yeah, from today. I mean, it's almost a week.
Did they give you any sort of, by the way, we record on Thursdays.
Yeah, we record on Thursdays. So it's almost a week that I'm going to have to be there. So I said, well, what about if somebody cancels? Somebody cancels. And they go, no one ever cancels. I said, I've canceled. What do you mean no one ever canceled? So she says, all right, well, if anybody cancels, we'll call you. I said, all right, well, please do that. So we'll see if that happens. But sometimes it's funny about, I guess the medical system is that, they're like.
The U.S. Be specific. The
U.S. medical system. It's like,
because there are countries where it's like, oh, yeah, come right in. We'll take care of that because you are in pain and it's clearly bleeding.
Right. Or, not only here, but I've heard in other places where it's, they don't have the best, there's waiting. So I feel like saying,
there's also that. Yeah.
Right. If I'm still alive, I'll be in on Wednesday. Well, I mean, don't you think can't we just have somebody look at it? Yeah.
We have the internet, people.
Yeah, I'll take a picture and send it over. What do you think?
I always see people complaining about faxes, how the doctor's offices are so far behind that they're all still using faxes. And I was complaining last week about it. And my husband's like, you know why, right? There's an actual reason for that. And it's security because faxes are basically like absolutely encrypted.
Is that what it is?
But, yeah. And I'm like, but come on, doctors. Like, it's 2019. We should be able to send you a picture of what's wrong with us and have, like, I don't care if my personal information about this wound that may kill me gets out on the internet because if there are other doctors looking at it, by all means, tell me.
Or not only that, but here's the other thing is, and I still think it's because they're behind the times. I haven't had a printer in over 5 years. I have not owned a printer in 5 years. I've not needed to print anything out. Everything I do for podcasting is on the screen.
I do, but that's just the way I process things better. I need like the tactical pieces of paper. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I did, but then they'd be all over the place. I'd have all this paper, then you'd run out of ink. You got to get ink. And I swear, with printers.
Oh, it's an ink racket. It's definitely big ink.
Yeah. And when you'd run out of ink, you'd put in a new ink cartridge, and within 2 days, the printer would break. And I was like, I might as well, because the ink costs half as much as the printer cost.
I used to just buy new printers in college because they were $30, and then the replacement ink cartridges were $40. And I was like, I'm just going to buy a new printer every time.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's been going on with me. I'm not going to lie. The anxiety of this, I just want it better. Yeah. I just like, come on.
How's the eating though?
I've been doing okay. I really haven't.
Because you've had this as a distraction.
I've had it as a distraction. I've really kind of went more back to shakes and everything.
Yeah.
I've been buying groceries, and I have groceries here. So, I can really kind of control what I do.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny. Why can't I get, like, it just doesn't seem to me that when things seem to be okay, when things are firing on all cylinders, it's like, that's when I'm like, okay, I don't know, just for some reason, if I'm not focused on something else, this creeps back into my mind, or, the overeating and stuff like that. This week I've really been doing well on eating.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm, like I said, I'm close to intermittent fasting. When I say that, I guess my window is usually from 11 until 7. So that's 8, right?
Yeah.
So that's 8. So I'm doing 16-8. Look at me.
Look at you.
Yeah, so I'm doing 16-8. And I mean, when I tell you I'm doing 16-8, I'm doing 16-8 because it's like I start at 11 because usually I'll have a shake or something like that. And then at 6, the alarm goes off and says, okay, your window's closed. I'm like, I didn't eat. I got to go eat. So then I would immediately go eat, which means 7. So I am doing it. What I should do is shorten my alarm up and close my window at 5. And that way it would make me go eat by 6. So then I would be, instead of 16, it would be 18.6. Yeah. 18. I would move to 18.6.
Yeah, we're talking about intermittent fasting. So when we say 18.6 and 16.8, we're talking about 18 hours of fasting, meaning no food, just water, black coffee, or black tea, or 16 hours of that. And then we have a 6-hour or an 8-hour window where basically it's off to the races for both me and John. Ever since I shortened my window from 8 hours to 6 hours, the alarm goes off or my stomach starts growling at exactly 12 o'clock. And it's like, let's go. Whatever we have in the house that's not nailed down, shove it in your face. Yep.
Well, it's funny because we're like Pavlov's dog now.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
The alarm goes off and we're like, okay, it's time to eat. We're like, my kids have 2 dogs and they get fed at 4 o'clock every day. And those dogs can't tell time. But at 3:45, 3:50, they're running around. They're like, oh, come on, let's go. And when they get that food, they see them go out there and they hear the food bowl, they hear that dry food going into the bowl. Like they're dancing and everything. And they put the food down and it's just, I've never seen a dog eat so fast in my entire life. I said, that dog's going to die one day of choking. But it's true. I mean, you really do kind of train yourself for this.
Yeah. And I think that may be why IF has worked so well for so long is because my brain, my ADHD brain, craves that routine. It fights it. It naturally wants to fight it all the time, but it craves that routine because once I have that routine and it works, I even grumble about it too. I'm like, yeah, it's freaking working, but I want to be free. I want to do all the other things, all the eating all the time. But then I'm like, nah, but this works and I feel good. And I have focus and my brain feels better, but it's so funny.
I flipped out last night because it was 8 o'clock and I was hungry and I wanted to eat something. And I'm sitting there and I have apples, right? And I'm like, can't have an apple. Can't cut up an apple and I just have an apple, right? Like that's going to kill me if I have an apple. And then, so this is what I did. I said, okay, here's the deal. If you still want that apple in an hour, you can have it. We'll go off intermittent fasting for the day. And I got into something. I've completely forgot about the apple.
Yep. I've done that too. It's like reparenting. We're reparenting ourselves to teach ourselves good eating habits. I'm just like, no, just trust the process. Trust the fact that if you drink a lot of water, you won't want this. And trust me, I'm getting all my calories in that 6-hour window I have now. For sure.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop eating.
It's nonstop 6-hour eating. They say, the collective they, that, if you eat good food and, non-processed food, fruits, vegetables, meat, that is really, really hard to overeat calorie-wise. And that's true because I know when I'm eating eggs and salads and, easy on the cheese and the dairy, that it's really, really hard for me to eat 2,000 calories or even 1,800 calories. It's hard for me to get 1,800 calories in.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that takes a long time to prep. Like you've got to cut it up and the next thing you know, it goes bad and you're sniffing things. Is this good? I'm not taking a chance.
Or I'll get the disappointment of opening my fridge and being like, look at all these wonderful vegetables I bought and being like, and I don't want to make any of them. And I'm just going to keep opening up my fridge and watching them as they go more and more
bad,
questionable. Yeah. In the store, I have such high hopes for future Emily and her cooking ability. And then future Emily is like, oh, past Emily, Why? Why do you do this?
So one of the things I've done, I'm really using the Instapot. I love
That's awesome.
my biggest thing right now is Instapot baked potatoes.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the Instapot is that, and especially with the baked potatoes, is you can forget about it and it just keeps it warm. So
Yeah.
it takes 12 minutes. So you put it in there and it takes 12 minutes to cook. And then I forget how much time for it to depressurize and all that. So it's about 25 minutes. Basically half the time it would take you to bake a potato in the oven. So I'll go upstairs and I'll just wash 2 potatoes and I'll put them in there. And then I'll go about doing my stuff and all. And then when I get done, I'm like, oh, my baked potatoes are done. And they are the most amazing baked potatoes. I got a little sour cream now. I throw a little grass-fed butter on them. It's just amazing. And then I'll have that with some, it's, again, this is gross, but it's just me. The other day I didn't have anything real protein. So what I did was I just took tuna fish and Italian salad dressing and kind of mixed that up together. And that was so I called it surfing under turf. Yeah. And that was dinner. So, even dude cooking like I do at times, it's been working out. So how about you?
Well, last night I tried frozen cauliflower pizza that I found in the store. So the good news is it tastes like a frozen pizza, a regular frozen pizza. The bad news is it tastes like a regular frozen pizza. So cauliflower pizza in the frozen section. There you have it. There's my review.
Well, again, you're not going to, what do you think it was going to taste like? In other words,
I don't know, but I didn't expect it to taste basically the same as regular frozen pizza. And I'm just like, I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest.
So
I don't know if frozen pizza needs to step up its game or if cauliflower pizza needs to be worse tasting for me to be not surprised by how meh it was. I don't know.
25 years ago, cauliflower was on its way out. Nobody liked it. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, cauliflower is like the best thing. Everything's cauliflower rice, cauliflower pizza.
Yeah, because we can replace our carbs with it and it's still a vegetable.
Yes. So there is a pizza place around us. And I haven't tried this yet. I'm going to try it. They make a fresh cauliflower pizza. So I might go and try one.
Yeah.
And see how it is.
Definitely.
I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. So it's a guilt thing. It's a how much guilt can I live with? Can I live with the guilt of eating pizza? No? Okay. Then I'll have cauliflower pizza. But it's never, I don't think it's somebody like, oh, I want cauliflower pizza. I don't know. It's one of those things, if you can't have regular pizza, you would go for cauliflower pizza, in my mind.
So there's a thing that I follow on Facebook. It's called Low Carb Yum, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. And in there they had chicken pizza. So I was like, well, this is interesting. Let me see what this is. So what she does is...
I think somebody posted a picture in the group too.
Oh, is it what it was? So basically what they did was they took a boneless, skinless chicken thigh, and then she would fry it up in there, and then she would put the sauce and the cheese and melt it, and then some pepperoni or whatever you wanted toppings, and then she would melt it, and that was it. It was basically the crust was the chicken. So I was like, So I have some, boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. So I took and I call it a chicken hammer because it's the only thing I use it for. I beat chicken.
Yeah.
So I call it the chicken hammer. So I got the chicken hammer out, and I took 2 chicken thighs and I pounded them down till they were somewhat thin, and little oil in the pan, throw them in there. One side, the other side, and, put the tomato sauce on there, low carb tomato sauce, and threw some mozzarella cheese on the top of it. And I like mushrooms, so I threw mushrooms on the top of it, and I said, so. And I'm telling you, it took no longer than it would take a regular pizza to get there.
Yeah. Okay.
It was really good, but that's
awesome.
But you know what it is? It's basically chicken Parmesan.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is really good chicken Parmesan. I don't know if I would call this chicken pizza. I could have picked it up and held it, with my hands and ate it that way.
Yeah.
But, you're just going to cut it up with a knife and fork.
We have a place by us, and I love how they sneakily got people to be healthy about their pizza choices. So you can order a pizza there, a regular pizza. Then they started making quote unquote pizza in a bowl with noodles and red sauce and cheese. Like they marketed it as pizza in a bowl, but it was basically noodles and cheese. And then they did the same thing with chicken too. They were like, "Oh, here's the chicken crust pizza in a bowl," and it's just chicken parm.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly chicken parm. I don't think he invented anything. I think he just renamed something.
I'll take it though. I will take it. If you want to repurpose something and make me healthier and help me give up the carbs, and I've decided I'm just going to take those offerings. I can't judge them anymore and be like, "You're just trying to no." Like, no, Emily, let's just eat that. Let's just eat the good stuff.
Yeah. So
the other thing that's been kind of my mind is circling around is this post I saw in the Delay Don't Deny group. And this is the Intermittent Fasting group by Jen Stevens. She wrote the book that I read to get started, Delay Don't Deny, and she is one of the hosts of the Intermittent Fasting podcast. And one of the posts was a woman with her before and after picture, and she was talking about being size-wise in the double digits, and now she's a size 2. And she was really trying to express how awkward it is to be putting on these size 2 clothes and still feeling like the double digits. She's like, your mind doesn't change. You don't feel smaller. You're looking at these numbers that your clothes are or that the scale is saying, and you don't actually feel it. And I've been trying to figure that out because this is the first time I realized that I've consecutively lost weight. It used to just be in spurts of 20 pounds here, gain another 5, lose another 10, something like that. This has been 63 pounds consecutively lost, where I haven't had time to really just be a certain number. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, well, again, I think your mindset plays tricks on you. So in other words, I don't think you realize, and when you lose weight, that you're still in your mind seeing that person in the mirror that you've been seeing forever.
Yeah.
Until someone else says something to you. And then when you put clothes on, you still feel like you don't look good in clothes. And I don't know how to get out of that. I mean, that's going to be something that we are going to have to deal with down the road.
That's what I'm thinking is you're going to be going through this as well after you go through your surgery. You're going to be consecutively losing weight and at a very fast pace. It's a very fast pace after bariatric surgery, right?
Well, hopefully, yes. One of the members of our group, Michelle, she's lost 100 pounds and she looks amazing. She's done a great job and
she's inspiring others.
Inspiring others to go do the same thing. Basically, one of the reasons why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I guess that is something that what if you don't ever get at? I see people now that are trying to lose weight and I look at them and I go, I don't know. Why are you trying to lose weight? Why? There's nothing wrong with you. I mean, maybe a little doughy, maybe the dad bod going, you know what I mean? But you're of a certain age. This is what happens when you get to be a certain age.
But okay, is that even a bad mindset too? Is getting to a certain age and being like, well, that's it. Like, this is my default bod.
No. But what I'm saying
I feel
is...
like my husband's going to turn 35 and he's like, that's it. Dad bod, dad jokes. I'm ready. Let's go.
But what I'm saying is that I think that they have a body dysmorphia where they see themselves as maybe they've lost 35, 40 pounds. And they want to get that. There's always that last 10 that they want to get off. They look good. They move around and everything. Maybe they're just lifting weights would tone things up a little bit. Maybe they feel better about themselves. But even then, if they did that, I don't know if that would work for them.
Well, here's the interesting thing with that. Now that you brought up the weights, because I've done yoga every single day, I actually have the muscles. I'm starting to actually feel the muscles happen. And I'm like, I can feel them when I'm tightening or when I'm picking something up and thinking, I haven't been able to do this before or like lift this amount of weight. My kid, if you guys have seen pictures of my kid, John is absolutely right when he says he is Bam Bam from the Flintstones. He is like this giant 2-year-old. Remember, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid?
Yeah.
and the kid blows up, that's my kid. That is my kid. So I'm picking him up all the time, and I have these arm muscles from doing it. And it's the first time since scooping ice cream for 5 years in college that I actually have like a bit of a muscle in my arm. And I'm not used to that at all. It's so weird. It's really, really weird. And it's funny when you're in the beginning of all of this and you think, man, if I would just lose 50 pounds, like everything would just work out. It would just work out for me. I would totally understand it. And now I'm at the weight that I used to be like, I will probably never see this weight again. This is so far off. This is crazy. And I'm just like, well, now I have a whole new set of problems. It's like, I don't feel this weight. I should feel this weight more. I don't know.
Oh, how do you know what that, you really don't know what that weight feels like.
No. And that's the other thing too, is I've been this weight before, but not with the muscles I have. So I also don't know. And like, I'm in a smaller size clothes than I used to be when I was this weight in the past. It's so weird, the time travel that happens with weight loss in your head of just like, okay, I was this number before, but I was wearing a size bigger than what I am now because of how muscle works. And it's so weird, all the changes your body can make, I guess, is what I'm really going for.
Yeah, and not only that, but then your mind has to follow that. And I think that's a real hard part. I think a lot of people have an issue with that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, I can't wait till, that I can start doing more things. Like I said, for me, that's when I'll know, when I know things are starting to turn around is when I can do more things. But the problem for me right now is I'm not attempting more things.
Well, you're still in recovery mode, I would say.
Yeah, right now I am kind of in recovery mode. And once, it just seems like I can't get out of recovery mode. And then I think about myself 5 years ago, what I was doing 5 years ago, and I thought that was bad. And it seems like I'm doing less. Not really, though. I am actually doing more, but it just seems like less.
I'm thinking the same thing. And I think that's why having the to-do list that I write out every day and crossing stuff off, it does really help with your mind because I never go to bed thinking, oh, I've done nothing today, because I actually have a written track record of it and I get to cross little things off too. And it's still weird that in your head, you're still thinking, oh, I haven't done anything today, but you're actually doing a lot more than you were doing probably a year or two ago. I got into the Netflix series, The Brain Explained.
Ooh.
It's 6 episodes. John, I know you love that psychology stuff. Start with the anxiety episode. It has Maria Bamford in it talking about OCD. It's fascinating. And they're all about 20 minutes long.
Okay, great.
They're wonderful. She talks about anxiety. John and I, we've talked about this before on the show. We both have ADHD. And part of the thing with ADHD is anxiety is a big symptom of it. So they're not two sides of the same coin, but there's like a Venn diagram of like ADHD and anxiety, and the circles are very much meshed together. But it's really good, John. You'd like it.
So I know it's going to be in the show notes, but I don't want to wait that long because
I will put it in the show notes. It's on Netflix. It's called The Brain Explained. Yeah. The anxiety episode, I think it's episode 3 or 4. Maria Bamford is on it. She's talking about the OCD side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff that she did to get over the OCD. And one of the things was exposure therapy. So she has the OCD where she thinks about chopping up her parents into very small pieces. What they made her do is record herself saying exactly what she wanted to do and expose herself to listening to herself say all that stuff.
Wow.
Right? I know. And I've been thinking about it. I'm like, John and I are bearing our souls, and then we have to listen to it to edit it, and I have to listen to it again to write the show notes.
That's true. I never thought about it. Yeah.
Right? I know. This is why I'm telling you, like, watch this and kind of think about these things, because it's really interesting. And how, like, after the show is out and the episode is published, and then we get that feedback, and we're just like, huh, I made that out to be a much bigger, I mean, there are some big deal things that we talk about, but
yeah.
Now it's like, oh, that's just an episode of my show.
That is true. I forgot about that because when I do the show, when I edit the show, I listen to every word and go through everything. So, but when the show comes out, I don't listen to it again. I can't.
Yeah.
I know I should.
Oh, you should. Last week I added a thing.
You did?
Yeah. I came in with a record scratch. when I was talking, when I was in my like vent mode, and I came in with a record scratch like, "Drrr," and I was like, yeah, this is Emily from a few days later after I've processed everything. I had a concussion for 2 weeks, so of course I don't remember. And then I went back. I was like, I just had to put that in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's great. I'm glad you did. See, that's one of the things about both of us knowing how to edit.
Yeah.
You can just pull something in and drop something else in. That's pretty good. All right, good.
No, we tag team edited that one.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of year edits. So yeah.
No, that's great. How about that? All right. So, well, let's get into some Winning Wednesdays.
Yes. Let's do that.
Winning Wednesday, Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Wednesday.
You know what? Before we do that, we have a new member. He just posted in the group, Scott. He heard about the show and Dave from the School of Podcasting talked about it. But this week's episode was the first one he listened to, and he's talking about the one that we were just talking about. Great job. Good co-host chemistry, good audio quality, and good content. I'm all in on this one. Question: have you done any episodes specifically about intermittent fasting? Hearing a lot of good things about it and would like to learn more. So, John, what do you think of that?
Well,
Just all about intermittent fasting, where we don't come in and talk about our weeks. Like, we get a break from talking about our weeks and just talk about our resources and our background with intermittent fasting. And of course, not as experts. We are not experts at this.
I think it's not a bad idea.
Okay.
There's also, I'm trying to remember, I think Don reached out to Rieger Cortell, who she has the weight loss surgery podcast. And I've been on it like 4 times. And then she says, why do I have to hear from somebody else that you are going for weight loss surgery? And I said, I really did think I told her.
You didn't tell. I was just thinking about her today, too. And I was like, I wonder if John's going to go on again.
Well, so she
That's
said,
funny.
would we like to have her on this show to answer any questions? So I said, I didn't answer it yet because I wanted to talk to you. So
Yeah.
we might do that. So maybe as we start to go, because we're rolling now. In the beginning, we
know.
were having problems. So now it's a lot of the same old.
It is. I know. I kind of want to shake things up. See, I do this to myself. I have a conference in 10 days. And I'm like, let's change the whole show.
Okay. So we can do that, which means it's going to require more planning because this show has been the easiest show I've ever done.
I know. We're not going to do it for every week. It's just, we have special guests every so often. We had Jessica for one episode. We had Harriet come in, the eating coach.
Mm-hmm. We could have Rieger come in.
Absolutely.
But see, the problem with Rieger might be that she works during the week, so she can't really make this time, I don't think. I have to talk to her about it.
We could do another time.
We could do one time. Yeah, we could do it it's a weekend for her, so we'll see what happens.
Let us know. Send us an email if you guys want to hear from Rieger Cortell. She does the weight loss surgery podcast, and we'll get her on.
Mm-hmm.
So either let us know in the Hate to Wait discussion group or send us an email, hatetowait@gmail.com.
She's amazing. She's right to the point. No beating around the bush. Tells you exactly how she thinks. I love her. I really do. She's a great person.
Maybe I need her for the weeks that I'm spiraling. I kind of need a spiral referee to like whistle at me and be like, you're spiraling.
Well,
Come on,
I mean,
get out.
For me, she's because when she mentioned it to me,
Yeah.
she said, how you feeling? And I said, well, I don't want this. I don't want to have this surgery. I don't want this at all. But I'm just pretending that it's a gallbladder that needs to come out, and I have no choice. It has to come out. And she's like, well, why are you apprehensive? I said, I don't want to have someone poke 5 holes in me and cut out 3/4 of my stomach. I don't want to have to drink fluids for 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. And then, I don't want any of that. That's almost a quarter of a year, prepping for this thing before, and then the best part, oh my God, I ate 3/4 of a scrambled egg. Oh boy, it was the best 3/4 of a scrambled egg I ever ate. All that
Yeah.
shit terrifies me. Why? Because food is my comfort. Food is everything. When there's an issue, if I'm sad, happy, everything, food is what I turn to.
Mm-hmm.
Now what am I going to do? So that's why. I'm still doing it. I can't continue on like this. It's ridiculous. I wrap my legs twice a day. It's a nightmare over here. So instead of talking about losing, let's get into some Winning Wednesdays.
Should we play the theme music again?
I was just going to say that. I didn't want to have to cut the music out. All right, here we go.
All right.
Weenie Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday.
All right, before we get into all that, just kidding.
Let's take another tangent. Okay.
All right, you go first.
Ingrid said, I went to the gym on Saturday, almost did not, tried talking myself out of it. While at the gym, did 6.5 miles on the bike and did the elliptical for 5 minutes. Yay!
Summer says, after several months of fucking eating, I managed. She didn't put that in there. She put like the squigglies and all that. But this is an explicit show. I managed to get off refined sugar again. Haven't had any in more than a week, and it gets easier every day. Sugar begets sugar cravings.
Yeah.
And for me, abstinence is easier than moderation. Thank you for your continued honesty and dedication.
Aw. Teresa, oh my goodness, our artist friend Teresa, finished a cool visual scribe illustration for a client. She draws and depicts visually the business concepts they are trying to communicate. Today, taking a much-needed day off to de-stress from work. I am working on reducing stress this week, and this has really helped. Oh, good.
Yeah. Again, when you're completely stressed out, and especially for people that overeat or use food for medication and all that, it's one of the things you do. So if you can reduce stress or even get good night's sleep, I have finally been able to, past 3 nights, get better sleep.
That's wonderful.
And
Have you gone back to melatonin? Did you figure out a dosage?
Well, I just use one.
And then you put the phone and Amazon and Instacart.
Everything. I turn the phone off because what I have next to my bed right now is I have I have the Google Assistant, which then I'll just put a podcast on and I just listen to the Google Assistant.
Oh, that's smart.
And then it just, because I need something to take my brain. I can't just go, it can't be quiet. I need something. And white noise doesn't do anything for me because I just start listening. What was that? I can't have that. So I need a podcast. I need people talking. And it just puts me right to sleep.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to give you a link for you to work with. It's called Coffeetivity.
Okay.
Let me make sure I spell it correctly. It is just a recorded coffee house.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. It's just the sounds of a coffee house. COFFITIVITY. Coffeetivity.com. And it's just a loop, but you don't notice the loop. And it just drowns out for a while. Oh my goodness. I love working to that sound of just a crowded coffee house. And you hear some of like the clinking, which I like. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, it's just funny.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, I can hear something. Oh, by the other day. And you know what she said?
There's like, you can hear like half words of just like,
right, exactly.
Oh. Like, and then it goes away. You're just like, okay.
I definitely have to check that out because, see, half of me thinks that would be great. And half of me thinks I'd be like, what are they saying over there? What is she saying?
I thought I would too because I'm very distracted by crowds, but it's so far, not far in the distance, but like so nondescript that you don't know. It's almost like, I don't know if you ever played The Sims, but The Sims had their own sort of language when you played the game. And you could kind of figure out what they were saying out of context, but you didn't really have to pay attention.
Okay. The same thing with the Wii. What was that game? The Wii? W-I-I? The one you used to hold the controller and you would bowl. Mm-hmm. They had their own language too.
Oh, okay.
All right. Back to Winning Wednesdays.
Back to Winning Wednesdays. Man, we are ADHD today for sure.
Elaine says, I have done my plank challenge every day, morning and night, because once a day is not enough.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old has joined me and even my reminder.
My 2-year-old now reminds me about yoga.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. He wants to give me another concussion, but he's like, Mom, yoga, because he knows he gets to play outside with his trucks, and that's where we do it, is on my back porch at this point. So he loves it. Good. And I'm on the floor too. He likes whenever I'm on the floor with him. What were you going to say? You were going to say something and I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's great that he's doing it. He's not doing it with you, but he just is out there with you.
No, he'll stretch and then touch his toes and then laugh because he finds his toes hilarious because he's 2. So,
okay.
Yeah. Michelle says, I have a new second number today. And even though I feel like poop today, I'm staying in my window and making good choices. You know what I would love?
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm just jumping
on. I'm jumping on you so much today. I would love on the soundboard the sound from Freaky Friday of Jamie Lee Curtis shouting at Lindsay Lohan going, make good choices! Because I feel like that's the reminder I need.
All right. I will look for that.
Yay.
Make good. I've got all kinds of notes here. This is the first time I've ever had notes from you.
I know. I'm sorry. Now I'm
No, that's great.
I feel like part of me felt so bad. I'm like, I'm being such a diva to John. Like, my computer won't work. I'm so sorry. 10:59. John, make a note of this. Get the sound effect for me.
Watch this show.
Watch this show, John. I'm sorry.
What do you mean you didn't listen? I put an extra minute in there where I explained my concussion.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bitchy to you. I'm sorry, John. John, you are now in my inner circle because I'm making incredible demands on you. I'm sorry.
I'm only teasing. No, and I have to go back. I want to go back and listen now. Now I have to go back and listen. Absolutely.
Oh no. Well, no. See, I'm gonna give you another demand. I would like you to put a sound effect in every time I give you a demand.
I wish I wait. Do I have one here?
Don't.
Hang on. See if I have one here. Let's see, which one should I put? This one? Or wait, here we go. John, you should.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's get
This
back.
is the only way it will stop is if you give me
No,
this.
Absolutely not. Here we go.
Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
Thank you, Jason, for that sound. He's got such a great announcing voice.
I know. Jason's in our chat room and in
Oh,
our
he
group.
is?
And he was in our chat room earlier. I think he's still here. Yep.
Okay.
Jason's here. He says, I am Dad Bod. That was also a crossword puzzle clue number 1 on the Sunday crossword. Dad Bod.
Dad bod. Look at that.
Nice.
This week, I'm down 2 pounds.
Yay!
Well, thank you. I mean, whoops, wrong one. Anyhow, I'm down 2 pounds. I feel like I should be better, but I'm swollen. I don't know if it's from the antibiotics or whatever. I'm really swollen right now. So I'm looking for a bigger loss. I really haven't been eating much. I can tell that I'm losing because the shirt's loose. My face feels thinner.
Your face definitely looks thinner.
Here's a crazy thing. When I put my headphones on, I had to take and move them in closer because I guess my head is less swollen. And right now, I can only wear shorts because I have to wrap my legs and then put ace bandages on them. So I only wear shorts. And the shorts I have on right now are just I can't walk with my shorts on because they just fall right off of me.
Yeah.
I feel how redneck would it be if I had shorts and the suspenders? Jesus. I'm bringing it back. I'm making a new look.
Honestly, everybody's jumping on the IF bandwagon. I feel like more elastic waistbands will be coming into style soon. More drawstrings, people. I'd love that because that's the other thing is my wardrobe budget. I've had to add more money to that. I don't like buying clothes that often.
I wonder. See, well, here's the problem with me is everything I have is sweatpants, so everything's a drawstring. And they've been tied for so long. You can't get them untied. You cannot untie them. So I can't cut them because then I wouldn't be able to do anything with them. So maybe, is there any way you can go at Joann's Fabrics and get another drawstring and then just take one out and put a new one in? I don't know. Anyhow.
You can thread that. Do you want me to give you the Pinterest version of it? Go buy a drawstring and attach a little safety clip to it. Close the safety clip, and then that's what you thread through so you can kind of maneuver the safety clip
all the way
as
through,
needed.
All the way around. Yeah, I'll try it. I have to find a drawstring that long, but whatever. It's just, it's something because I got to be able to tighten these pants up.
Yeah.
Because I'm not buying new pants to cut the legs off, or I guess I could get shorts. I don't know.
But it's a little frustrating with my yoga pants because they're supposed to. I wear yoga pants a lot, and now the butt and the knees are getting kind of saggy because I don't have the skin there anymore, and I've really pushed the limits on yoga pants, I guess, too much. Where now I'm back in the size that they're made for, and they're like, "Oh no, honey, come on."
Are we really complaining that we're losing weight now? We have to change our pants. Are we those people right now?
Let me get into my weigh-in, and I will tell you why this negative mood is here. So it's Shark Week for me. So that Sean's face right now. I'm just like, aha, aha. Man, oh, it's like Emily Shark Week is another character in this podcast. Yes, yeah, that's been me. This is the first time I've recorded on like day one, the craziest of all the days too.
Oh.
So I knew that this episode was going to be like.
That explains everything.
It does. But I didn't break a monitor that I know of.
Right.
But I didn't do that. But
honestly,
so
I think you guys should have like a dot on your head that changes colors. That gives us like it just starts turning like a little bit yellow, and then at the day of, it just turns dead red. And then we know. Just kid gloves today. Kid gloves.
Gentle eggshells, yes.
Right. It should come like as your hormones do what they do, there should be some kind of patch or some kind of light or something, some kind of warning, a real warning. It's not your fault.
No.
It's things that, it's not your fault. It's not something that you're trying to do or anything like that. And we don't know. We just think you're normal. We don't see anything different. Nothing's different, but it is different. And then when someone says, by the way, today I got my, oh, no wonder. This makes so much sense.
It does. Oh, women, we are a fun crowd. So I'm at 0 actually right now, and I'll take it because I've definitely been in pre-Shark Week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually Shark Week, well, this is the first day, whatever. Usually you gain a little bit. So you haven't. So that's a win. And again, there we go.
Exactly. I'll take it as a win.
Okay. Yeah, I know. There's sometimes when I talk to Sam and, there's I was like, where's this coming from? This isn't you. And then I find out. And I was like, oh, makes so much sense.
This is you. This is
you at this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is something. It's one of those things that I'm glad, or at least in, I think the Instagram algorithm sometimes like makes me think that other people are all going through the same things I am. Because I think it knows my cycle. Like it started showing me all these, periods are wonderful things and we should be more open about them. And half the population gets them. Like I started seeing those in my feed this week and I'm like,
that's the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what are they going to do with this information?
I don't know. But
if anything, I would really like the big news to kind of like stop this week. If that would help me, because like there's a lot of stuff in the news going on. And my husband's like, all right, let me look at your calendar. Let me look at Twitter. Okay. What can I tell you that won't send you like running around the house mad at everything?
Honest to God, I think that the media, in my humble opinion, loves to have us all incensed over stuff.
Yeah.
Because if we're incensed, we'll go back to find out what's next. What's going on? Because if everything's okay, we don't care. We get back in our own lives. And that's not good for them because they need views. That's how they that's what drives their money is views and clicks and all that other stuff. So they need that. So what do? They just trump up some kind of, look at me. They just make up this big giant story and a lot of times it's a lot of nothing. When you read into it and you see what's going on, you're like, okay, well, I don't understand what you're all upset about, but okay.
Anyway.
Right.
Meh, I found out the news. That's all. It has nothing to do with the number on the scale or anything like that. So
okay,
I'll just leave it there.
Right.
We're at zero lost and 0 gained, and pretty happy about it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what next week will bring because it's the week before I go to Atlanta for the big She Podcast Live.
Hey, what about next week? Are we going to do a show or the show before? When do you leave for Atlanta?
The 8th. So we won't be doing the show on the 10th.
Okay. Which is good because that's when Sam is here.
Perfect.
So that means I have left because I'm clearing the calendar. I'm wiping everything off the desk. I'm telling all the clients, and he said, if you want a show done, it has to be in by this time. If not, I'm gone. Mm-hmm. I have no way of doing a show.
Yeah, so we will have a show next week, but the week after that, we will be off. And then we will see you after that. And you'll be talking about Sam visiting. And Sam won't be here next week when you're recording. Right?
She's in on the 9th, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So she
comes in on the Wednesday before.
Yeah.
All right. And you're leaving. When are you leaving?
I leave Tuesday.
Oh, so you're leaving before that. Because it's going to be an amazing. What we're talking about is the Chic Podcast Conference in Atlanta, and it's going to be amazing. I'm kind of sorry I'm missing it, but then again, not.
Yeah,
it just came in at a time where
you have two options for an amazing few days,
right?
And yeah,
exactly. So I'm fine with the choice I picked. So, and I can't wait to hear the stories when you get back. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And then next year, we'll see you there.
Yeah, next year I will be there.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
All right. This has been a crazy, crazy show all over the place. We've had a technical... We've done it all. We've had technical problems. We've fixed technical problems. We've told each other what to do. It's been an amazing show. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. If you want to join this crazy group, it's very easy to do. Go to hatetowait.com/Facebook. And also, anything we've talked about will be in the show notes because Emily is an amazing show note writer. Go to hatetowait.com. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you here next week.
Later, waiters.